All right, back with another one. French Avenue Ravine Ice. This one's been talked about a lot. It's gotten a lot of hype. Is it worth the hype? Is the value for money there? And do I think it's worth your money? Long story short, if you're into this type of DNA, like like the box looks like, I don't know if the ice portion is just coming from the lemon that's in here, giving it kind of like a fresh, cool touch, but I don't get any like icy, minty notes and none of that. But if you're into those like marine aquatic type scents, I give it a yes. I say that you're going to enjoy this. Um, so let's break this down really quick. In the opening, it starts with a very bright lemon. Maybe that's where they get the ice from when naming this fragrance. But yeah, really bright lemon, and it comes off in a subtle sweet way. And it's not like overly sweet by any means, but there is a sweetness to the lemon, and I think it prevents it from becoming too zesty. Like lemon zest can be very, it can overpower anything really. So I think the sweetness kind of takes a bite out of that. And as it starts to dry down, the lemon really starts to kind of pull back. It's still always there. It carries through into the mid and it remains there. But it really starts to kind of step back because there is like a subtle saltiness that starts to come in, which also takes a bite out of the sweetness. And then there's this moss in there that rounds out the entire fragrance. And I will say, like, one of my favorite notes, there's a few notes that really grab my attention when it comes to fragrances, but if there's moss or oak moss in it, that grabs my attention. And I kind of have an expectation with a fragrance whenever it has that in there. I will say this is the softest I've ever, experienced moss being done in a fragrance because it is there. It's just done in a very like airy, humid type way. Like it's not like if you've ever smelled like Afnan Supremacy Collector's Edition and the dry down, you get that oak moss in there and it's really prevalent. I love that stuff. Or if you've smelled Hawas Black, that has an oak moss in it that's really, really prominent. I enjoy that. It gives the fragrance a nice masculine edge. And I think for me personally, and this is just me, like it is a very nice fragrance. I will be wearing this one to the gym. That's probably the only time I'll wear this one because I feel like it's perfect for that. It's light, it's not offensive, and you're gonna smell clean and fresh. This isn't a projection monster. It's gonna be just very, very close, to you unless you spray the heck out of this thing. But going back to the moss and why I like that and my expectation in it, for me, it just leaves like I guess the best way I could describe it is like you're waiting for the beat to drop, but it never drops, right? But I will say the lemon in here with that moss, like that humid, airy type moss, it blends really, really nice. And the saltiness kind of just dances around the edges, giving it character. So overall, I think they did a really nice job with this one. I feel like the quality is there. I do think it's worth your money. And I do believe that the hype was real. I do think maybe a little bit more excited than what I am smelling it, but then again, it's like, hey, it's Pacific Rock Moss is what this is going after, and I'm not sure how many clone fragrances there are for Pacific Rock Moss. So if this is the only one, I could see it. I could see the hype coming from that because it is exciting to have an alternative that is a lot cheaper. Now, so one con that I see of this fragrance, and I think anytime lemon is in a fragrance, you're going to get this from people. They're going to say it smells like cleaner. Um, I could see some people smelling this and not really liking it for that reason. However, for me, I don't get that vibe from it. I think it stays perfect. It's like a smooth lemon when it dries down with like an airy, humid type oak moss touch with some saltiness around the edge, which really does make you feel like, you know, you're getting like this breeze and this mistiness off of a coastline, which is really, really nice. So yeah, I really enjoy Ravine Ice. I'll be rocking it to the gym. Summertime, if I'm going out doing something outside of the gym, I wouldn't reach for this. I'd go for something a little bit more dense with a little more pop, something that's going to grab more attention. But this is perfect for what it's doing. I don't think you'd regret it. If you have any comments or questions, comment down below. I'll be happy to answer. Thank you.